JB, should the Detroit Lions trade for DeAndre Hopkins?
I mean, if you trade for him, that's a game changer right there. But as you guys said, you are dedicated to pursuing the playoffs, like 100% with DeAndre Hopkins, especially with what you're going to end up taking on with, dead cap money the following season. But let me throw this question out there to you guys. He will be 31 coming this upcoming season. What if I told you?
What if I told you?
There was another receiver that was only, 2-3 years older than him that is, among the same type of range that will be a free agent.
Who?
Julio Jones.
No,
hell no.
No.
What do you?
Julio's washed.
JB, what? DeAndre Hopkins is so much better than Julio.
I know DeAndre Hopkins is so much better, but I'm just trying to save the Lions a little bit of money here.
Yeah.
He wasn't utilized well in Tampa Bay. We all know that. He had some injuries going on, and of course, Tom Brady just couldn't get it together. So, would you want to take a flyer chance on Julio Jones at a lower price?
Take a shot for me.
No, not even. I think Julio's there's a reason why the Titans got rid of him, right? He wasn't like worth keeping on the roster at that point.
No, Julio's washed. He still has ballerina dancer feet. Like, he's got these little tiny feet that he can get down.
Yeah.
In bounds at a tremendous rate, but he's washed. He ain't Julio. He's not Atlanta Julio. He's not Bama Julio.
Yeah. He's not even close. Maybe a red zone threat at this point in his career. Like, if you get him on like a veteran minimum, sure, I'd entertain that. But I just don't even think you need
Mike
that.
Kimber in the Woodward Sports Chat says Tom Kennedy over Injury Jones.
That's another thing too. Still getting hurt a lot.
The Great White Hope.
I'm sorry. Are you trading for DeAndre Hopkins?
Absolutely not. And to speak on Julio Jones, it's time for him to retire, and
Yes.
it might be almost time for DeAndre Hopkins to retire.
Whoa.
He's too old, too much money, he's hurt all the time, and I'm pretty satisfied with the receiving core the Lions have right now. And plus, they could go out and get another one in the draft that could be just as productive.
Coming off the bench, hot takes, telling DeAndre Hopkins to retire. I love it.
Yeah, relax.
How many games did he play this year? What?
Well, he was suspended.
Yeah.
He was suspended.
Right.
And he still put up like 717 yards.
He was juicing.
I would take him. Look.
I don't know. It'd be cool to have DeAndre Hopkins, but like you said, I'm not giving up because you're not going to re-sign him to a big deal. He'll be 33 at the end of this deal. You wouldn't re-sign him to anything unless you're really trying to compete, and at that point, he would be more like Julio Jones at 33 at the end of his career.
But he's just so far from the Julio territory.
It can happen fast.
Him.
Julio wasn't this until he literally went to the Titans.
Here's the one thing you could say about Julio, at least I think of it this way, is like you could see him on a trend of like just being hurt every single year.
Yeah.
I'm saying you could see like it happening faster with Julio, where like DeAndre got away with doing steroids for a long time. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
But I know DeAndre's just a whole different class. Like, we did our top 10 receivers, and he was still like
Hopkins to the Jags. I could see that for sure.
That would actually be brilliant for them. I'm telling you guys. I mean, the only reason why I would stress it a little bit as a thought for Brad Holmes, and again, I still don't think we're in the business of giving up assets. It depends what Arizona wants back in return. But as mid as I think Tua is, and we know I see him on the same level as. At some points, maybe like worse to golf. He can run a little bit, though. I will give him that.
Yes.
But you see Tua with two elite receivers in Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, and he's just a night and day difference. I mean,
I think the Lions have the makings of two elite receivers. I think they already have one, and I think Jameson Williams could be there too.
That's what I'm saying, though. If you add, Amon-Ra was like a slot guy, right?
Yeah.
If you add Julio, I'm sorry. What you did, JB, you POS.
Yeah.
If you add DeAndre alongside J-Mo, and then you got, look how good Tua looked.
Yeah.